Hey guys, what's going on? Two Cruz here, checking in with... So we just finished Christmas. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone watching. And we've been getting a lot of questions on the channel. What are we doing? Are we staying in Japan? So we're gonna be talking about that. In today's video, I'm gonna be talking about my new job, our plan for staying in Japan, what we're gonna be doing moving forward, and we're gonna be cycling along the beautiful Yara River here in Nagoya, Japan. Let's go.
Let's go.
So for anyone new to the channel, my name's Cruz. I live and work here in Nagoya, Japan. I've lived here for 5 years, and this is my lovely wife, Chun-chan. She's Vietnamese. A lot of people assume she's Japanese, but she's actually Vietnamese. I made a whole video talking about that in case you want to hear our story and how we met here. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about today. We gotta drop down in here into the cycling path. And I'm pretty excited about this path. This is a new section on the Yara River that I've never ridden. A lot of people who are fans of the channel know that I used to be a daily bike commuter here in Japan, and I'd commute an hour each way on this path, but it was a different section of this path. So this is my first time riding this section, and today we're on our mountain bikes so we can enjoy this nice dirt path. And we're going northeast into Seto City today, and we're gonna be getting some groceries from a Vietnamese supermarket, which one of our friends created this year. So we'll be introducing that at the end of today's video, so you can stick around for that. There's a lot of people out today enjoying the nice weather. That's great to see. And so yeah, it's the end of 2020. It's been a crazy year, and we announced earlier this year on the channel that we were planning to leave Japan. We were planning to move to Vietnam, which is where my wife is from, and start a new life over there. And the whole virus situation sort of changed our plans. We weren't able to do that. So before I talk about our new plans going forward, let me just do a quick recap for anyone who's new. And by the way, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We make weekly videos here about cycling, life here in Japan, and all that. So if you enjoy that stuff, be sure to subscribe and help us reach our goal of 100,000 subscribers for 2021. It's been a pretty crappy 2020 for the most part, but we had some great success on this channel. Thanks to your support, we were able to reach 60,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So thank you so much for subscribing, everyone. But anyway, here's the quick recap. So in the beginning of 2020, my wife and I decided that we were gonna leave Japan and move to Vietnam and start a new life there. I already arranged to quit my job. She arranged to quit her job. And by summertime, we were both unemployed and planning to move to Vietnam around May. Unfortunately, Vietnam shut down in March completely because of the whole virus situation. And we thought it was only gonna last a few months at first, and we would hopefully be able to get there by the fall. So we decided to stay unemployed during that time because it wasn't worth finding a new job just to quit a month later or so. So we were unemployed for a couple months, and we didn't have really any income coming in other than a little bit of YouTube income, which has been growing lately, which has been nice, but it hasn't been enough to support all of our living costs. So we weren't really struggling, but we weren't really in a great situation either. As time went on, we just realized that this situation wasn't getting any better, and countries weren't going to be opening up anytime soon. So we were in a sort of strange predicament on what was going to happen, because worst case scenario, my wife would be deported to Vietnam and I would be deported back to America. We're not in a safe situation where I can't enter Vietnam if I wanted to, and the same for her. She can't enter America if she wanted to. So really the only place for us to be together would be for us to stay in Japan. Oh, this is a nice little bridge here. And by staying unemployed for too long, we would be risking getting deported and having our visa run out in Japan. So the only option really was to start a new job here in Japan. And we didn't know how long this virus situation is going to last. We didn't know when other countries were going to open up, if there was another safe country that we could go to and stay together for a while. The big disadvantage for that is my wife is, again, Vietnamese, and the Vietnamese passport is very weak. There's very few countries that she can visit without requiring a visa, and she can usually stay for a very limited time. As an American, I'm very blessed and very privileged to have a very strong passport, and I can visit a lot of countries up to usually 3 months without having to worry about anything. But with her, we're not so lucky. But obviously our biggest priority was staying together, staying safe. And so staying in Japan a little bit longer seemed to be the right choice to do. And so that's when I started job hunting and looking for a new job to get into. In my last job here in Japan, I actually worked for a bicycle distribution company, and that job was entirely Japanese. It was a Japanese company. I was the only native English speaker in that company, and all the daily operations were done in Japanese. It was a great job, great experience, but I couldn't go back to that job. I got a lot of questions asking, why don't I go back to that job? And the reason I didn't do that was because I didn't know what was going to happen after that. If the regulations lifted up and it was free for us to go to Vietnam, our plans probably weren't going to change. We were going to just have to quit again. And I didn't want to go back to the company and have that burden on them and just, hey, take me back for a couple months so I can get a salary, and then you'll still have to find someone new again. I didn't want to do something like that. So I decided for me, the best step moving forward was to just go back to my roots here, and that was getting an English teaching job here in Japan. So I started applying to a couple of different positions, and I've actually only worked as an English teacher in the universities here. So that's usually one of the more upper tier jobs that you can get here in Japan. But those are really competitive. You have to apply quite a ways in advance, and a lot of people are applying for those now. And it's usually a longer commitment. You got to commit for a couple years for those. So I wanted to find a job with a low commitment level. And luckily, there's a lot of demand for Aichi teachers, which is kind of like a private English school teacher, or ALTs, which is like an assistant in the public school system. And from talking to some of my friends who've worked in both jobs, they recommended that the Aichi is usually a little bit better. I've never worked in either, so it was a new experience for me. But I ended up getting a job at a local Aichi. I'm very lucky because in some of the different jobs I was applying to, some of the Aichi, you work at different locations, you have to move around a lot, and especially with like the dispatch companies. But I got really lucky. I found an Aichi that was hiring very close to our home, so I am a bike commuter again, which is great. I was really missing my bike commute when I was unemployed for those couple of months. So yeah, I'm a bike commuter again, and I got a nice job at a local Aichi where we live in Nagoya, Japan. And so things are going really smooth. I got the job around back in September, so that's why I haven't been posting as many videos on the channel lately. Over summer, it was really nice. I had a lot of time to focus on the channel, to focus on filming and editing these videos. But now I'm a full-time employee again, so everything I do here on YouTube is stuff that I have to do after my job now. I'll edit my videos during my lunch break. Some of you guys know I edit all my videos on the iPad Pro now. We decided to convert to that so we could film videos and edit while we were traveling, and that turned out to be a really good thing for working now too, because now I can bring my iPad Pro with me to work, and during my lunch break I have an hour to edit these videos, and then I'll still edit the videos when I get home after work. So we're busy. Chung's working hard on her walking channel now. She's uploading videos every day. She's been doing that for over a month now. So she's really dedicated, working hard on that, and yeah. We can't really complain with where we are right now. We're very fortunate. I feel very grateful that we are together. We're in a safe country right now. Like, looking at how things have developed in the US, the number of cases there, the number of deaths there, the way people have responded is just mind-blowing. It doesn't look real. And we're very fortunate that people here in Japan are taking this seriously, and we've been relatively unaffected by the virus. We are getting some decent increase in cases right now, so things are starting to get serious again, but I mean, we've got a decent supply of food, people aren't panicking, and the cases aren't really increasing like that crazy yet. But we'll see what happens as we get here into the colder months. We are a little bit delayed with the colder weather here in Japan compared to America. America, especially in my hometown, Northern America, Michigan, is much colder. We're still above freezing temperatures here in Nagoya. It doesn't really get below freezing temperatures much, but anyway, this path has been really nice. I've been really surprised with this. I've been living here 5 years, and this is my first time coming over this way on this path. I kind of knew it existed, but I never really bothered with it, so this is really cool. I'm glad we're trying out this new road today. So anyway, that pretty much brings up the story to where we are now, what we've been doing the last few months. I started this job back in September, and it's end of December right now, just finished Christmas and going into the new year, so I've been at this job full-time for the last 3 months, and I'm pretty used to it now. It usually takes about 3 months to adjust to a new job, a new routine, and it's been going well. Some of the things I really like and dislike about the job is some of the good things. It's low-key, it's a low-stress environment. I get to work with the same students every week, so there's consistency, and the students are all really great. I love all of my students at the school, and it's been a really fun routine. I missed working in kind of like a positive kind of environment. Like back in my old job, it was always so serious. Like in the Japanese work office environment, people were always so serious, and I always had to answer the phone. And when you do customer service in Japanese, you are expected to treat them kind of like a god. It's the way things work in Japan if you're in the customer service industry. It's really nice if you are the customer, but it really sucks to be on the other end. And I experienced that firsthand, so it's really nice to be in a more laid-back environment again, and just, being able to speak English again. I went through a whole year almost never speaking English, except for on this channel. I think a lot of people didn't realize that my daily work was always in Japanese. I'd come home, I'd talk to my wife in Japanese, and the only time I spoke English was when I would be filming these videos. So I went a whole year where the only English was just me talking to myself. So it's nice to be able to talk in English again. Granted, some of the students, their ability is not that high, but yeah, it's interesting. My Japanese is probably getting a lot worse now though, because I don't get to speak as much Japanese. I just speak Japanese to my wife, and that's about it now. As far as bad things for the job go, the biggest thing for me is just the schedule. It's a little bit tough. They start work because it's a private English school, it's usually run after the regular school hours, so the hours are a little bit late. I work most days like starting at noon, and then I finish at 9. So this actually can be really good if I can manage a good routine. I can get up early, go for a ride before work, go into work, and then I finish. But it's awkward finishing at 9 p.m. because I want to eat something when I get home, but it's bad to eat that late at night, so I don't want to eat that late before going to bed, and then if I eat, I stay up late. So I've been getting kind of in a bad routine with that. And I also don't have a 2-day weekend anymore. I have 2 vacation days each week, or 2 days off each week, but they're broken up. So I have Friday off and Sunday off, but it's broken off and I have to work Saturday. So that's a little unfortunate that we don't get the 2-day break. Sometimes I get the 1 day off and it takes that whole day to recover, and then I go back to work again. So I kind of miss having that 2-day weekend. But in terms of negative points, that's about it. It's a decent job. It's a comfortable location. It's very nearby, and I'm happy working there for the next year. I committed to a year contract, so we're planning to be here until around September next year. And after that, we don't know. We've still got to see where the world is going and what is possible, if it's possible for us to go to Vietnam, if it's safe for us to go to Vietnam. We've gotten a lot of comments from people saying that they don't want us to leave Japan and we should try and stay here. And we've been thinking about that a lot. For what we want to do, we want to start focusing on building our own brands, on our own work, on our own projects. And it's really difficult to stay here in Japan without having a main sponsor. It's not worth the money that you'd have to pay to set up a corporation to sponsor yourself. Let's go check this out even closer. This is really cool. Check this out. I probably shouldn't talk too much here. It's really loud with the water sounds. But anyway, one of our main goals is to start working more for ourselves, focusing on our own projects that we want to work on. And it doesn't look like there's a good option for us to really do that and stay here in Japan. So we are still strongly considering heading to Vietnam when this is all over and continue what we originally planned on doing. So at the very least, we are planning to be here until next summer. So that means we'll be here for another spring, another main part of the summer, and we'll still be able to enjoy and film a lot of videos here in Japan. The disadvantage with this work schedule though is, again, I don't have 2-day weekends anymore, so it makes traveling to further away places really difficult. And the place I'm working at has only 2 staff. There's 1 native English teacher, which is me, and there's 1 Japanese teacher. So it's just the 2 of us. And if I'm ever sick or anything, it's really difficult for me to take a day off of work because they don't have a replacement. So that's sort of another negative point. I won't have so much freedom to take vacations or travel to go film places further away. But at the very least, I can continue filming these videos. And this place is a mess. Why am I riding over here? I gotta get over to the other side of the road. I'm glad we're on our mountain bikes today. And you guys can get to see the rough side of Japan. This is where all the garbage is. There's not much garbage in Japan, but out here on the outskirts in the countryside, you'll find some on the side of the road. Japan is very, very clean for sure, but that doesn't mean that no garbage exists. It's here if you know where to search for. Oh, it looks like we're getting cut off here. This road just suddenly ended. 急に道終わったね。That's our fun adventure for today. We're almost to the Vietnamese shop though. Should be right over here. So we're very lucky that this river path pretty much goes almost all the way to our main destination today. That's why we were trying out that new path, which suddenly ended. So this is the river that we were just on until now. That was pretty dangerous. Oh, what's that? Is that a spider? Oh, this is a cool little shop here. What is this? BRP Sea-Doo. They got the Sea-Doo girl. They got some cool, what are these, three-wheeler spiders? I think that's what they're called. The two wheels up front. That was nifty. Oh, we got our nice big Baskin Robbins here. I've never seen one this big here in Japan. That's crazy. But yeah, we just got off the river path and here we are. This is the 363, really busy road here. And this road is actually really famous for cyclists because if you keep going, it gets to a nice mountain pass and it's one of the more popular climbs here. So our friend's shop is right here along this road. There it is. We got to cross the street. Here we are. Quan Viet, Aichi. So this is our destination for today, Quan Viet, Aichi. Quan Viet, I think, means like supermarket. Super no imi. Quan Viet. Mise no imi. Okay. So Quan Viet means like a small shop in Vietnamese. And you can see we've got the Japanese flag, we've got the Vietnamese flag. And this shop was actually built this year by one of my oldest friends here in Japan. He's actually my old classmate from my first Japanese class I joined when I came here to Japan. And actually, Tung was in the same class. That's the class where we met. So we were all classmates. And this year he changed his nationality. He became a Japanese citizen and he built this place. So it's really cool. Unfortunately, he's not here today. I didn't tell him I was coming. So we came here just to pick up some snacks, Vietnamese snacks and ingredients that Tung wanted to get. So unfortunately, he's not here. I can't introduce you guys, but let's take a quick look inside and see some of the Vietnamese stuff that Tung wants to get. Hôm nay, that's today. Today's special. Yomeru yo? Sugoi. So it's a nice small little shop. We've got a couple different things here. We've got some different Vietnamese ramen kind of stuff. It's not ramen because it's Vietnamese, but kind of instant noodles and yeah, a whole bunch of different stuff here. Some different Vietnamese sauces, seasonings, spices. And we've got the frozen section here. These are the different types of meats. Tung loves her meat. Kaitai mono wa? Kore? Ma, Vietnam no spice. And let's see, what else do we got here? We got some different Vietnamese drinks. And it's not just Vietnamese stuff here. I think they've got a bunch of different Southeast Asian stuff, so some Thai stuff. And yeah, there's some different, not just Vietnamese people coming to support them, but other people from Thailand and other nearby countries who come here. And they have some of the local Vietnamese people. There's a lot of Vietnamese people working in this part in Aichi. They have them work and also make some other stuff that they sell here, which is really cool. So they've got some che here. So yeah, we got some nice che here in Japan. I might pick up one of these. I'm not sure if we can ride home safely without it spilling. We'll have to see. What is this? Chicken? あとは?
これ美味しいよ。
これも美味しい?
そう。ココナッツ味。
Oh. Oh yeah, I've eaten these before. These are really good.
あ、ホテル?
Oh,
ココナッツ
yeah,
作った
we
じゃん。
made these in Vietnam at Tuong San's house. So if you haven't checked out some of our old Vietnamese vlogs when I was at our home in Vietnam in the countryside, we made these. This is really fun. These are coconuts, dried coconuts. We've got some other sweets over here that Tuong San's getting pretty excited about. Some more dried fruits and oh, these are cool. These are what, some kind of like peanut bars.
買ったことあるじゃん。
Oh yeah, we got these as well. These are really good. 美味しかったね。And they've also got a hot water heater outside, right outside the shop. So if you buy some noodles, you can heat them up right away. Another interesting thing about the shop, we heard some boxing noises earlier. They actually have a boxing gym right up above here. So when we first came here, we heard just sounds of people punching each other, which was pretty funny. Anyway, we're loaded up with our groceries now and we got to start heading home before it gets dark. I hope you enjoyed today's video, hearing about our story on what's happening. If you have any more questions that I didn't answer in today's video, feel free to add them down below in the comments and I'll try and get to them as soon as I can. Have a great New Year, everyone, and happy holidays. And we'll see you next time here on Tuo Cruise.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.